I don't know. You might.
My engine's still going. Rock and roll. And there we go.
Wait, let's see if it still runs. Wait. Not even controlling it.
He's holding on to the roof. Look at him. He's like, Neil, you.
Control. How are you doing?
I'm upside down. So.
Does it run?
Well, yes. I mean, the engine.
This is one of the toughest vehicles in this game.
The engine works.
Copyright for like playing a YouTube video in the background.
He's a broken, defeated man. He's holding his back because the
I don't.
Dude, I remember the snipe. I hit a clean snipe on stuff. Clean. Very clean. I remember those old days. Those old days, man.
Those old days, right? You said 360 no scope people.
Have a screenshot or game clip of season 10 or 9.
I have a screenshot. I mean, not a screenshot, but I have a video. I have a video, on season 1.
I missed.
Well, I had a screenshot of season 1. Where and.
Wanna know something? I have. This of the thing ending. And me first.
Check your notifications, cause
The old days, man. The old days.
Check your notifications, cause I sent you notification.
That was when I first hit 100. Or then overtime sponsors. But it's a lot of people killing me. Okay, right there it stops. I'm looking for a screenshot where it didn't stop.
Do you want to watch the stream or no?
Okay, there it is. Huh? What?
Okay, do you want to watch the stream or no?
Hold on. Bro, I remember this. But what I was doing down a lot of people kill me. Oh yeah, I'll watch it. For sure. I'll watch it for sure, baby. Live from Cam. Well, again, into YouTube. No, oh, water sugar.
You should subscribe. I definitely gotta change the name of this. Oh, nice, beautiful.
Mitchell, where are you?
PC. I'm in the house. Remember where you have your PC right here? And my PC's right here. I don't like the color of it. There we go.
But where's my PC? Cam? Cam, I said where's my PC?
No, this is a different map. You gotta join, but you have to join. Yeah.
I said where is my PC?
This is a different map.
Are you sure about that?
I am sure about that. Man, I can't even watch Gray Still Plays because I don't want to get copyright straight. I can't watch any YouTube channels.
Hold on.
Can't even watch Free Time. At least I think so. Bro, jeez.
Not gonna be a jerk and put a mean comment. He on YouTube. Oh god, oh god, oh.
That's not an Xbox controller. That's a PS.
Okay, now I've tried to join.
Yeah. I'm gonna turn my videos, my media down because I can't watch anything and I can't have it up loud. Because if I have it up loud, then there's a big chance that I could get a copyright strike.
It's time to join. I'm gonna cry. Ow, 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 ow.
YouTube, can you not copyright strike me? Please.
Succeeding at any
I
given
really
moment.
need to watch my YouTube.
Some people, however, are patient for the wrong reasons, and I'll be taking a look at them too. So join me as I take a tour of some of the most patient people the world has to offer. Number 10, Robert Shoesmith. Back in August 2011, British garbage collector and marketing whiz Robert Shoesmith started waiting for the iPhone 4S to come out, before it had even been announced. This involved camping outside the Apple Store in London's Covent Garden during the highly changeable British summertime for over 2 months. Thanks to his tech-inspired patience, Mr. Shoesmith managed to achieve a lot of corporate sponsorship from companies like Cadbury's, Skype, Mountain Dew, Domino's Pizza, Innocent, Kleenex, Helly Hansen, Weight Watchers, and Gillette. The phone was available to buy on the 14th of October 2011. But despite all of Robert's best efforts, he wasn't actually the first to get his hands on the phone and was beaten by Amy Yang from New Zealand. This just goes to show that patience doesn't always pay off, especially if you're waiting for Apple tech. Mr. Shoesmith did, however, witness a smash and grab raid on the Apple Store on October 10th. So at least he got some excitement out of the long wait. Shoesmith does, however, have a more successful and more patient predecessor named number 9, Greg Packer. Greg is what's known as a professional line sitter, and he is universally recognized as the first man on earth to buy the first iPhone, which he achieved after having camped outside the Fifth Avenue Apple Store for 4 days. Greg was also the first member of the public to shake George Bush Jr.'s hand when he was first inaugurated, and is known as one of the most quoted people in American media. So much so that reporters have been advised not to take quotes from him. Other names that have been attributed to the former highway maintenance worker are Man on the Street and the Eye Loser. Stay patient, Greg. Number 8, Tendai Monks. Have you ever thought about doing a marathon? How about 1 marathon per day for 100 days? How about 1 marathon per day for 100 days each year for 7 years? And for the last 2 years, you have to do 2 marathons per day. If you think that sounds impossible, you need to check out the Tendai Monks and their insane Kaihogyo practice. Kaihogyo means circling the mountain, and it's a grueling 7-year-long journey conducted. For 100 to 200 days a year by Tendai monks who wished to achieve the title of Dayajari, or Living Saint. Only 48 marathon monks have completed the challenge since 1885, and the stakes are pretty high. After the first 100 days, if you don't manage to complete the required 30 to 60 kilometers per day,
I have
you're
Destiny
expected
too.
to kill yourself. And all monks participating in the challenge must carry a knife and a rope for this purpose. There's also a trial in the 5th year of the practice called Duori, where you must chant 100,000 mantras for 9 days without food, water, or sleep. If this practice isn't an incredible example of patience, persistence, and training, then I don't know what is. Number 7, William Reed Stowe. This man is an American artist and mariner who claims to have completed the longest continuous sea voyage without resupply or stepping on land, which was 1,152 days long. Reed Stowe also broke the record for longest solo sea voyage without resupply on day 964, after his wife, who had joined him for the first 306 days, had to leave the boat to give birth. Personally, I can't imagine spending 1 month on a boat, let alone almost 3 years. So Reed Stowe's resilient patience seems very impressive to me. Sadly, none of Reed Stowe's achievements have been officially recognized by the World Sailing Speed Record Council, because they're unable to recognize human condition categories because they can be too expansive. Reed Stowe will be remembered by endurance sailors around the world for his accolades, but what would you expect from someone who appears to be more fish than man? Number 6, David Blaine. Being patient when you're alone is one thing, but having patience when you're suspended 30 feet in the air in a plexiglass box scrutinized by the general public is a whole different ballgame. Back in 2003, magician and illusionist David Blaine showed incredible patience and determination when he performed this Christ-like feat of endurance, living in a transparent hanging box without food for 44
and Destiny are the only ones that I have
days. I mean, it's not like he was in the desert, but it's impressive nonetheless. During the stunt, Blaine lost 60 pounds and had symptoms of starvation, depleted bone and organ mass, heart palpitations, breathing problems, and loss of skin pigmentation. Critics have said that it's possible Blaine's 4.5-liter allowance of water per day was laced with glucose and sodium supplements. Though no solid food for 44 days is still pretty astonishing. During the stunt, Blaine was harassed by the British public, who pelted him with eggs, pain-filled balloons, and even golf balls. One prankster even flew a hamburger attached to a remote control helicopter up to the box to taunt the starving artist. Whatever you think of this stunt, Blaine's patience was pushed to the absolute limit, and in the end, he succeeded. Number 5, Colin Angus. In July 2004, Colin Angus became the first man ever to complete a self-propelled circumnavigation of the world.
I just want to give you guys a little tour of my house. It's really nice. Just want to show you guys inside. I got plenty of room for activities. I'm going to get inside here. Yeah.
He crossed 2 oceans, 3 continents, and 13 countries, traveling either by foot, canoe, rowboat, or bicycle. His journey was beset with problems, like when his expedition partner Tim Harvey left him in Siberia, or when he had to be rescued from a high-seas storm by a Russian research vessel. Angus traveled around 43,000 kilometers, or roughly 26,700 miles, to achieve this feat, which took almost 2 years to complete. The journey started by bike in Vancouver and took Colin through Alaska, across the Bering Sea, along the length of Siberia, into Europe from Moscow to Portugal, then across the Atlantic to Costa Rica, after which they cycled the 8,300 kilometers back to Vancouver. A trip like this requires unbelievable patience and determination, as well as a high level of physical fitness, which is why I think Colin deserves the title of one of the most patient people in the world. Number 4, Michelangelo. Between 1508 and 1512, the Florentine artist Michelangelo painted the breathtaking and world-famous ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. The complex and colorful fresco is celebrated for its realistic figures, vast size, and innovative process. But it also required a great deal of patience to complete. Every day for 4 years, Michelangelo would paint the ceiling atop a wood platform that he built on a bracket attached to the side of the building's interior. The work was carried out in extremely uncomfortable conditions because he had to work with his head tilted upwards for long periods. The results of his patience and skill was a work of art that has lasted for more than 500 years and is appreciated by thousands of visitors every single day. Another particularly patient artist was August Rodin, who spent 37 years creating his monumental sculpture piece, The Gates of Hell, which depicts a scene from the Inferno, the first section of Dante's Divine Comedy. The intimidating work stands at 6 meters high, is 4 meters wide, and 1 meter deep, and contains 180 individual figurines. Number 3. Injured Brits. In the UK in 2018, Sylvia Marsh, a 79-year-old woman, fell and broke her hip on the pavestones in her backyard. Despite frequent calls from her family to the emergency services, an ambulance did not arrive to help her for 3.5 hours. By that time, the woman was freezing and shaking, and her arm had gone numb. The overstretched ambulance service in the UK also left 4 people waiting for more than 50 hours, and on one call, the Welsh ambulance service took over 62 hours to respond. Many of these are extreme cases, but the average time it takes in the UK for an ambulance to respond is over 120 minutes, which wouldn't be ideal if you had a gunshot wound. Still, with ambulance rides in the US costing anywhere between $400 and $2,700, at least in the UK it pays to be a little more patient. Number 2. Man with an arrow in his chest. In February of 2015, a picture surfaced on Reddit of a man waiting patiently for medical attention with an arrow sticking out of his chest. He appears to be smiling, and his son is sitting next to him, holding the bow, apparently guilty. The image is amazing, and it's truly an emblem of exactly what it means to be patient. Why does he have to go in the hospital, though? And why does he appear to have only 3 fingers on his right hand? Many questions were raised as a result of this photograph, so Reddit user Riot Squad 9000 made an appeal to the original poster for answer. Fortunately, the original poster Tutti Bossi did eventually reply and revealed that yes, it's a fake, and he took the picture on the set of a commercial for an insurance company. Nevertheless, it's a funny idea, and I think we can all take a little inspiration from this image of saintly patience. As an honorable mention, let's take a look at one of the most patient animals in the world. This man's dog. In a display of faithfulness, loyalty, and unerring patience, this man's trusty hound appears more than happy to keep the time-bendingly slow pace set by his elderly owner. The dog doesn't tug or bark, instead taking its time and sticking close to its owner. For those who truly believe that dogs are man's friends, the footage of this patient pooch is more than enough proof of that. And it might also bring a tear to the eye. Anyway, let's get back to humans. Take a look at possibly the most astonishing act of patience of all time. Number 1. Scott Weaver. If you've ever made a sculpture out of toothpicks, you'll know that it's a painstaking task that takes a great deal of concentration.
Then we're not gonna make any ad revenue for this.
Most of all, patience.
Am I gonna make any revenue at all? I don't think so. It's copyrighted. I'm gonna have to pay money as a child. Yay.
He becomes one of the world's greatest toothpick sculptors.